A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, podcast listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Brews. I am Kyle Gagne here with Mike Heinisch, as always.
Hello.
It is Mike's birthday today.
Hello.
He is 28, unless you're his aunt who thinks he's 29. We're just winging it today. It's Wing It Wednesday. If we release this episode on Wednesday. If we release on Thursday, it's Wing It Thursday. Go with it. We've got nothing planned. We're just going for it. We're at that point where it's the championship week for most, and we don't need to be that fantasy relevant anymore because the season's coming to an end.
You're right. I just went to the show doc just to see the normal thing, but there's nothing there.
Today we are drinking Sippin Pretty Fruited Sour from Odell Brewing Company because your wife picked it out.
Yeah. It was that or Reds, apparently.
It is a sour, and we're going to drink it, and I'm not a sour drinker.
Me neither.
Oh. It's actually not that sour.
I've had sours before that.
It's very floral. It's weird.
It is. Yeah, it's nice. It's more of a monster than a beer.
It's very pink when you pour it. It looks like pink lemonade.
It really does. We had backup emergency cores, but I can drink this.
Fact stats. I don't know if you have anything at all to say.
I do.
And there you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
Ooh, what do you got?
wrote something down. Let me get my phone out.
What'd you write down?
So they're both Aaron Rodgers related.
The quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
If you were watching the Packer game on Saturday, you probably saw. You were. We were talking. Aaron Rodgers is the first player to have 3 seasons of 40-plus yard touchdowns, passing touchdowns. So good for Aaron Rodgers. And then Aaron Rodgers is among 3 players who has a season of 40 or more passing touchdowns and 8 or less interceptions. At least as of right now, I suppose he could throw more picks. And the other 2 players are also both Aaron Rodgers. So he's awesome.
Mine I got. So yesterday, Tom Brady came back against the Falcons once again. They were down 24-7. He came back to win that game. And with that win, the Falcons, since losing to the Patriots in the Super Bowl of a score of 28-34, the Falcons have gone 28-34 since then. And they suck. And Matt Ryan is stupid. And Tom Brady's awesome. So they deserve not being great.
I think the Patriots or Brady, maybe Brady has the most comebacks of 17 points or greater, I think, with that game and the Super Bowl.
And also, every NFC East team has both held sole possession of first place, held sole possession of last place, and started multiple quarterbacks. Every team in NFC East is... So that's just a shit. None of them are eliminated yet. None of them are eliminated yet. The Cowboys, I think, need to win out, and they need 1 more loss from the Giants and 2 more losses from the football team.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't understand football this year.
It's crazy. Well, let's just jump right in to the games yesterday. Thursday's game, Buffalo-Denver. No surprise there. Josh Allen balled out.
Oh, that was amazing.
48-19 there.
He's helping me get out of the loser bowl in your league.
Oh, yeah. I am officially out of the toilet bowl in my league. I'm not going to be back-to-back beer bitch. You might.
I just need Claypool to get less than 33.
Less than 33.
And it's not a PPR.
And I am solidified. As long as Juju does not get negative 30, I am in the championship in Dynasty this year, and you have a very good shot at being in there as well after tonight's game.
Yeah, it's official, I think. I think he's done... Oh, he has to make his switch. He has James Conner in. So, what was it? AJ Green is the only person he can put in. So I need AJ Green to not score 32 points. Plus, I also have T. Higgins in the Steelers defense. So yeah, I'm going on.
So we're going to be meeting in the Dynasty Championship.
That's exciting.
Should be a good time.
Fortunately, it would have been cool if we were both in the loser bowl, in the toilet bowl or whatever in your league, but...
I'm out of that. I'm not beer bitch again.
Oh, man.
Saturday's 2 games, we had Green Bay beating Carolina by less than expected.
That's fair.
And then also... What was the other Saturday game?
The Bills was the Saturday game. The Raiders-Chargers was the Thursday game.
Where Waller balled out.
And Mariota balled out.
Oh my god, I liked seeing Mariota back out there.
And he'll be at least another week or two. He'll be starting. I wonder what their schedule is. Maybe he's a guy you could pick up to help you in a league if you need a last-second quarterback. The Raiders play the Dolphins this week, so maybe that's not great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nothing against Carr, but I liked Mariota when I was watching him in Tennessee a lot, so it was cool to see him out there and to actually perform well. It was a fun game to watch, it ended up being. And
Carr's injury is not, he'll be out a couple weeks, but it's not, it could have been really bad, so that's good.
New England is eliminated from playoffs because they lost to the Dolphins. Boring game in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Lions also eliminated. Broncos been eliminated. Niners been eliminated. And Panthers been eliminated. And then Bills and Seahawks both clinched a spot this past week.
Yes.
So that NFC East is still crazy.
I don't understand.
I just don't want any of them to win. If I don't get it, man. It's nuts.
I want to see the football team, I guess. I love the Cowboys. I don't love the Cowboys, but I like Dak a lot, and I have Zeke, and their receivers are fun to watch. But without Dak, I don't really care.
Chicago getting a win. They're somehow, them and Minnesota are still not eliminated yet. I thought Vikings were going to grab that last wildcard spot, but it's not looking like it anymore. A lot needs to work out in their favor for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Tucker. What?
Yes.
He did not get as much as he needed.
I pulled it up and then I took it away.
he is behind still. He had 5 extra points and a field goal, also missing a field goal. So he, on the season, is at 113. So he needs a lot still.
Yeah.
He's not going to get it.
He's got a ways to go.
He needs 28. There we go. He needs 28, so he needs 14 a game. So, best of luck, Tuck.
You just need a not
There we go. That's a good best of luck, Tuck.
That's a good one.
I know, it's good. I'm the best. And Atlanta blowing that lead we mentioned to the Buccaneers, which is hilarious. It helps the Bucs because the Saints losing another one to Kansas City this time. Bucs still have a shot at that division title.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome.
That helps the Packers with the 1 seed too if they win out. Well, if they win out, they get it, but.
The Jets got to win.
Yeah, what the
Jets got to win against the Rams. The Rams are just furthermore don't make sense to me.
Yep.
Lost 20-23. I was watching that Goff just was not throwing right in that game. Darnold 207 and 1. Frank Gore with a tutty. Goff 209, 2 touchdowns and a pick. That was a weird game, and obviously, I mean, the Jaguars now have a better shot at that number 1 pick than the Jets do.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was smart. It was weird. I don't get what they're doing. Why didn't they just lose?
Right. The Jags are probably confused. Do we take Trevor then? Or do we keep Minshew? What do we do?
Tennessee still holding the top spot in their division with their win over Detroit. Colts beating the Texans as well. But the Titans still hold the top spot. Cleveland with another win as well. And then tonight, we're going to see what happens. Well, I mean, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, we should know what happens there.
Just like the Rams should, not beat the Jets. Never mind.
Football team almost beat the Seahawks.
Football team beat the Steelers?
Football team almost beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. I hate the Seahawks.
Going on to any news, I don't think we have anything again, really.
Stafford left the game. I don't know what his status is going into this next week.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's going to miss some time, but I think he should be back for playoffs, they said.
Hopefully Zeke comes back next week. He was kind of a surprise inactive. James Conner's been a surprise inactive here on Monday as well.
My top stories are from 10 days ago.
Jeez.
It just said David Johnson was placed on IR. I was like, again? And now I don't know why my sleeper is so far behind on some of his news updates, but that's annoying.
That's super frustrating.
But as always, I mean, you should be sticking close to that news updates and really making sure you're not missing anything. This being most people's final week of the season for fantasy.
That's right. Welcome to the future. We were recording our Wing It Wednesday episode on Monday. It is now thrown together at the last second Thursday. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to all of you listening today. Or I hope you had happy holidays if you're listening afterwards. And if you didn't listen to this episode at all, then fuck you. But you wouldn't know that I said that. So we got a few minor additional news updates, things that occurred since our Monday recording. Nothing too crazy. Sounds like Josh Gordon is being suspended yet again, indefinitely. So that's just really a huge bummer for the man. More than anything, he yet again violated the substance abuse protocol. And as we all know, that's been a huge problem for him. So hopefully he gets better. I think we can all agree that this is much more about, the man getting healthy and doing what's right for him and his life and his family. In equally disappointing news, Dwayne Haskins is a dumbass. This came to light for me more recently. I never was a Dwayne Haskins fan, but I always wanted him to be halfway decent because I have Terry McLaurin in my Dynasty League. Dwayne Haskins has not really been good at the game he gets paid to play, called football. He's been fined for COVID protocol in the past, and he just did it again. This past Sunday, he went up and his team lost to the Seattle Seahawks. So he decides to go maskless to a strip club. And politics is irrelevant here. Everyone has their opinions on their masks. You should be wearing it, especially in a strip club. But it doesn't matter. He works for a business that requires you to wear protective equipment like that when you're in a crowded area like a strip club. And Dwayne Haskins did not do that. So he's getting fined $40,000. I haven't heard about anything, as far as a suspension. That would be really bad for the football team, considering Alex Smith may or may not play. But Dwayne Haskins, you fucking, what are you doing, man? You're stupid. I didn't know this either. I saw this clip on Twitter of him at practice, and some defensive guy was like, hey man, you can't stare that receiver down. I had that route on lockdown, and Dwayne Haskins played dumb, and then he was just like, nah man, you're wrong. And the dude was so respectful, that defensive guy. I wish I remembered his name. He was so respectful. He's like, fine, whatever, but you suck, Dwayne Haskins. Get the fuck out of the NFL. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think that's all you have for last minute news updates. Let's go back to the show.
So I'm excited. So we get first place in Dynasty gets.
I can look it up quick. I want to say
second place gets $250. We're coming out on top either way, money wise.
So first place gets $700, second place gets $250. And third gets 100. It goes down from there for fourth, fifth, and sixth. So yeah, definitely coming out ahead either way. I always just cycle mine back into the buy-in for next year.
Let's take a look at the matchups we got. For week 16, my team, I got Deshaun Watson against the Bengals. Pretty good there. Derrick Henry against Green Bay. Amazing. Austin Eckler against Denver. Very much alike. Justin Jefferson against New Orleans could be tough, but I feel like that Thielen's going to get more of the attention than Jefferson. Because, you can't leave either one without too much attention. Juju against the Colts. But then I got Tyreek Hill against Atlanta, which is very nice. Oh, jeez. Because the Chiefs still fighting for the bye.
Yeah.
Darren Waller against Miami. Meh. DeAndre Swift against Tampa Bay, but he gets enough catches that I'm still okay, feel fine with that. And then David Johnson against Cincinnati. Him with 11 catches last week was great.
Yeah, that was really nice.
And then, of course, Matt Gay, my kicker, is the best kicker ever.
Jeez.
So I don't have... the Derrick Henry against Green Bay is... I love it. And Hill against Atlanta are two of my most favorable matchups there. Yeah. The other ones, I don't have any that are too bad. Maybe Swift at Tampa Bay is really the most difficult one for my matchups. But what's yours looking like?
Well, at quarterback, Ryan Tannehill is against Green Bay. Matt Ryan's against Kansas City. I'll be starting Tom Brady against Detroit. At running back, Josh Jacobs plays Miami, which isn't great. If Zeke is back, he plays against Philly, which is meh. At receiver, A.J. Brown has the Packers. Stephon Diggs has the Patriots. DJ Moore has the football team. So those are all bad matchups. Terry McLaurin is against Carolina, which could be okay. T. Higgins has a good matchup against the Texans. Mark Andrews is my tight end against the Giants. I have Young Wei Koo, and I picked up another defense. I have the Steelers I could start against the Colts. The Bucks I could start against the Lions, which I might do, or I have the football team defense I picked up, and they play Carolina. So that's definitely in contention. Oh, and I could start Mecole Hardman against Atlanta too.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting. I think we're gonna have a close matchup. I think we've both been scoring a lot lately. Yeah, my team has been great for me lately. I'm sitting at 170, and I still got Juju for this week. Previous week I had a 167. Oh, here we go. Week before that is when I hit the 199.92. I had in week 12, week 11, I was at 160. And so I'm consistently around 160 these past couple weeks. I have been. So I'm hoping for another one.
I think that's more than I've been more or less putting up, but no, I can't see it either.
I think it should be a close matchup. It's fun either way. It's cool that we're both in there.
Yeah. 102, 128, 146, 137.
We'll let you know. We won't know for sure by the time we record next week because you will have Diggs playing on Monday night.
Correct.
But let's go ahead and look at next week 16 games. Friday, Christmas game is Vikings against the Saints. Vikings still in it. This I could see this can be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a Saints all the way by any means. I think the Vikings could very well pull it off.
The Saints have shown a little bit of vulnerability lately, and the Vikings have really, last 5 or 6 weeks, really kicked it into gear. So yeah, that could be a really fun game to watch. That could be like a playoff preview almost.
I'm just excited to have a game to watch on Christmas. That should be good. But I would take the Vikings in this game. It's at the Saints, so I mean everyone's free to air it out. You don't have the weather affecting you.
Right.
I mean, the Vikings are inside too, but I'd take the Vikings in this game.
I'll take the Saints, but it's close. The Vikings pulling it off wouldn't shock me.
3 Saturday games, Bucks at Lions. That's going to be all Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
49ers at Cardinals. You never know with those divisional games. You would think Cardinals.
Both those teams have been kind of...
But, I mean, San Fran lost how many more guys yesterday? Mm-hmm. I saw every other play, a running back was hurt in that game.
The Cardinals have been barely keeping it together to themselves.
But I think Cardinals would finalize a wild card with a win. Let me double check that. No. Yeah, well.
Probably need some other...
Depending on what the Bears do.
Sure. Yeah, because the Cardinals would be 9-6 then.
So Cardinals win, I think... Bears loss settles that. We also have the Dolphins at the Raiders. That should be a pretty good game. Not 100% sure on what Carr's doing yet. I'm expecting a decent amount of Waller points out of that.
I could see that.
But I would... Dolphins and the Chargers both have a very, pretty good defense. Not great. I think the Dolphins defense might be a little bit better. But, I mean, if Carr over Mariota could be the determining factor.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find anything about Carr. But yeah, last I read it, it was likely that he was going to be out for a couple.
I think
weeks.
Tua would be a great start in this game.
I could see that for sure.
If you've been just picking up waiver wire quarterbacks and you somehow find yourself in the championship and you need one this week, Tua is not a bad play at all against this.
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup for him for sure.
And then our Sunday lineups, we got Panthers at football team. I think football team wins that based on defense alone.
Yeah,
Bridgewater has not been doing it. If you actually look at everything, he's not doing bad by any means, but if you actually look at some things, he's just not doing well overall. So
he's
I think
bridge quarterback.
I think the football team's going to get to him a lot, and they're going to shut him down.
Is that going to secure their division if the football team wins? They'll be 7-8. Yeah, I think if they win, they clinch their division. Or unless they have, I would think so.
That'd be interesting.
I suppose they could. No, maybe not. They could. Both
Alex Smith maybe playing again. We don't even know who their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, I really hope it's
Gibson should be back though too.
I maybe
he almost came back this week. So I think Gibson should be back.
Yeah, if he's getting ruled out right up before game time, that definitely is a good sign for this coming week then.
And then we got Colts Steelers. Should be a great game there. I'm really rooting for the Steelers because 1, I like them this year, and 2, want the Titans to win that division over the Colts. So I think that's going to be a great game. I think the Steelers are going to win. I'm going to say because of defense again, because Phillip Rivers is not carrying any offense.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing with those interceptions that we were looking at the other week.
I can't remember if he threw any or not yesterday.
This matchup will be an interesting one to watch for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be most likely a run heavy, defense heavy. I don't think you're going to see too many. Well, I don't know. The Steelers, they can't really run the ball, so.
He had no interceptions, so it's still Jameis Winston has the most interceptions over the past 2 seasons. I just don't think Phillip. That's why I don't even want the Colts are such a waste of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
That's a waste of a playoff spot because Phillip Rivers is not good enough to get them anywhere.
No.
when it comes
I'd put the Colts over the NFC East, but outside of that.
Chiefs Falcons, not too much to say. Falcons will get up 10, then lose by 30.
Yeah.
Jaguars Bears. I could see the Jags winning this because, I mean, besides yesterday, they've been staying in the games. They got whooped down by the Ravens. But it's the Bears. Their offense is garbage.
If there's an offense that the Jaguars defense can stop, it's the Bears.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the Jags in this game. I'm thinking the Jags are going to get their second win. They're going to go, nuh-uh, Jets, we're going to be second place.
Maybe Montgomery breaks the tie of that Bears record he has.
Montgomery's going to have another monster game. He's been killing it these past couple of weeks.
We called it a...
Yeah, basically for the rest of the season, if you got Montgomery, you're set.
Wasn't somebody you could pick up at all, but if you happen to have him...
Then we got Bengals against the Texans. The Texans will win this one. They've got to.
Yeah, I would think so too. But it's a good matchup for Bengals receivers, for T. Higgins. Hopefully the quarterback can do.
This would be a great game for Burrow to play in.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
If they had Burrow, I would probably give the Bengals the game. But they don't have Burrow.
Or at least to be a competition.
And I'm just hoping Watson just is not giving up completely yet because I need one more good week from Watson. That's all I need.
I've got Mixon in one spot that I haven't dropped yet because I keep holding out hope, but there's no additional news. You would think at this point they're just not going to play him again. Mm-hmm. So I should. Then
we got Giants-Ravens. I got the Ravens in that one, but they're going to be running it nonstop. They're not going to... I feel like if they try to pass it too much... I mean, look what happened in the past game they played. They had 13 pass yards at half.
Yeah,
something like that.
Was insane.
Lamar Jackson against the Giants. The Giants have a decent enough defense that they could pick them off a couple times. So I think they're going to be ground heavy in this game, but they're going to win it. Because if they got another Colt McCoy... Either one. I don't care who's quarterback, Daniel Jones or Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
Colt McCoy's probably better than Daniel Jones, to be honest.
Wouldn't shock me.
Or at least turns it over less.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup for your Ravens pieces, but you're still for sure going to start Dobbins. Obviously, you start Lamar Jackson. I don't know about receiver. I wouldn't be super excited.
No, I would not. I would not start the receiver or Giants receiver. Like I've not been starting Ingram or Slayton at all.
Yeah,
they've been riding my bench. Until hopefully they have a better situation next year.
Yes.
Then we got Browns at the Jets. Browns, they're going to...
Anything could happen.
No, it's going to be the Browns, weirdly enough.
Adam Gase fucked up his job by not losing.
Broncos at Chargers. Irrelevant game completely. I'd give it to the Chargers.
Yeah.
If they got Keenan Allen and Williams actually playing...
Yeah, and I don't know what happened last time the Chargers played the Broncos, but I would imagine they didn't have Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler's a huge piece too. I mean, Drew Lock, Drew Lock is a cocky for nothing kind of quarterback. Herbert is actually good.
Right.
And we were watching this game, Herbert's last game, and he was hitting his throws so nice. And he just looked amazing. So I think the Chargers take that one over the Broncos.
Last time the Broncos beat the Chargers by 31-30.
No, Chargers will win at that because they got Eckler now. That's enough.
Yeah, and Herbert's just more into his own.
Eagles-Cowboys. Losers eliminated for good. Regardless of what else happens. You got to give it to Eagles ever since they switched to Hurts.
Yeah, that's
if it was Wentz, I don't know what I'd do.
If it was Wentz and if Zeke was playing, I might give it to the Cowboys.
But with Hurts and the Eagles defense actually kind of doing something,
yeah,
I'm going to give it to the Eagles. Cowboys, your season is over, but you knew that as soon as Dak got hurt.
Sorry, guys. They're in last. Or no, the Eagles are in last currently.
Yeah.
That's funny.
At 4-9-1.
Because of a half of a game, yeah.
We got Rams at Seahawks. I have no idea which way this game will go.
Yeah, on paper, you should be saying that all the Rams pieces are stardom. Tight ends, maybe I'm iffy about. But the quarterback, the running back, both receivers should all be starts.
Even Hollister on the Seahawks is worth a decent start. Tight end there.
Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf have continued to kind of disappoint. I think DK was hurt for a little while.
I think...
Or something.
I'm going to give it to the Rams based just on defense. I get they just lost to the Jets.
That's what they're mad about.
They're not going to let that happen again. Donald's going to get in there. Ramsey's going to Ramsey. And they're going to limit what Wilson can do.
Yeah.
Whereas
Wilson had a horrible game this past week.
That Seahawks defense has been getting better, but they're still... Goff is average enough to do well.
Right.
And that's why I'm going to give it to the Rams. Then, which should be an amazing game, Sunday night game, Titans-Packers. Yeah. That one's going to be great. I don't know who to give it to.
I feel like
they're both high-powered offenses with okay defenses.
Yeah. The Packers' weaker point is their running defense, which is the Titans'
and they have the best running back in the league. And then the Titans' weaker point... they got... Ever since they lost Clowney, their defense has just been weak.
Yeah, it's... I think this game is basically Rodgers versus Henry.
Yeah.
Who's going to carry their team more.
I don't even know if I had a bet on this game. I don't know.
I wonder what the point spread is.
I would pick the Packers based on weather. It's colder here.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's why I pick Packers, because they're used to playing in the cold. I don't know any other thing to justify it. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It could be disheartening in the end, but that's what makes football games so good.
And then the Monday night game, Bills at Patriots. Who cares what happens? Patriots are out. Cam Newton. At this point, bench Cam Newton.
Yeah.
1, you won't have to pay him as much if he hits any of his incentives in his contract. 2, see if Stidham's actually worth anything. Just give him a game to try it out.
Right.
Give him a game to try it out and see what happens. Patriots is losing Stephon Gilmore for the rest of the year, but J.C. Jackson has been killing. He had another pick this past week. He's a great freaking replacement for when Gilmore's out, and it's not like they need him this year anymore, so...
That's crazy.
Bills take it. But hopefully they keep it competitive with the defense and give Josh Allen a rough time.
Just to backcheck real quick, the Packers-Titans is a 55.5 point over-under from Vegas, which implies it should be high scoring. That's going to be awesome. I'm nervous about Josh Allen against the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, the Patriots defense is scary to go against, always. I mean, Gilmore being out is a huge piece.
Yeah, that definitely helps. And Josh Allen has been playing well, even in tough matchups. I think he's been putting up enough points. I think he did well against the Steelers a couple weeks ago. 22.8, that's pretty solid. Or sorry, 18.3. I lied. Did well against a tough 49ers matchup before that.
So, anyone out there in your championship this week, best of luck to. I don't think there's anyone who's got, I think Derrick Henry probably has the best advantage in the league as far as individual player against a team. Yeah. The other ones, there's no huge advantages for anybody.
Yeah. I would unfortunately...
Maybe Montgomery against the Jags. Yeah, that's huge big one too.
And the Hill matchup, or maybe from a Holmes perspective, the Holmes matchup against the Falcons is a pretty solid one too. It's been less so lately than it once was, but still pretty solid. It's going to be a fun week of football.
And anyone in the toilet bowl, ha 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 ha.
Not us.
Good luck getting out. I mean, there's no tips we can really give for this championship. If you're there, just keep doing what you've been doing. Who are we to tell you what to do if you got to the championship?
In the championship, yeah. If you're in the loser bowl, don't keep doing what you're doing. Try the opposite. Pick up Tony Pollard. It worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you are in the losers bowl and you just have these, you have to start guys who are getting you jack shit, but they're maybe 7, 8 a game. Take a risk and play someone who could pop off. Yeah,
that big boom bust might be what you need to. At least if you're going to lose, because you start somebody like that, at least you went out trying and not trotting somebody out who's going to get you another 5 points. And it should be go without saying, but at this point you're playing for 1 week, so you can drop people that you have to hold on to anyone, hoping that they have a good matchup in the future, because obviously it doesn't matter. So pick up players you're going to start, and pick up players that your opponent might need that you could keep away from them, and that's all you need on your team.
Yeah, at this point you don't need a bench at this point. A bench is just there so other people don't have those players. So maybe use that to your advantage. If you look at their team, look at what they might need or who they might be going for, try to think like them and grab that person if you have waiver wire priority over them.
I think I won a championship a long time ago where I had 4 or 5 defenses on my team at the end of the year because I was just trying to, they didn't pick one up or something. So do it. Just don't drop someone they'll start. Or that you don't want to have started against you, I guess. All right, and of course we have to sneak in our prop luck of the week for this Christmas holiday weekend of football. If you've been playing Thrive Fantasy, there are always like competitions for the Thursday game, or in this case, the Christmas Day game and Saturday slates and stuff like that. I'm still going to give you my prop lock for Sunday's main big contest that could net you. I think the prize pool is 10 grand. So yeah, our prop luck of the week sponsored by Thrive Fantasy.
I want to be 30. 30 and flirty and thriving.
We're going to go with Tyreek Hill. He's the noon game. He plays against the Atlanta Falcons. The over-under we're choosing between is over-under of 6.5 total receptions. You're going to net 105 points if he can get 7 or more receptions. This might be a little misleading. The last 3 games, he has not hit that mark. He had 6 catches last week, 3 the week before, and then 6 the week before that. Those were mostly against tougher passing defenses, notably the Saints and the Dolphins most recently. Only 6 against the Broncos isn't what you're hoping for. But it is what happened. But the 2 weeks before that, he hit 13 and 11, and those were against defenses that give it up more through the air, being the Bucs and the Las Vegas Raiders, respectively. And the Falcons definitely fall into that category as well. So in a game where the running game for the Chiefs is, kind of littered with question marks, with Clyde's health and Bell's involvement going up and down like a bell curve, we have Tyreek Hill and the passing offense that's going to get it done. It's really going to be the Tyreek Hill, the Travis Kelce, and of course the Patrick Mahomes show. So I think Tyreek Hill can lock down at least 7 receptions. Hopefully he takes them for a total of 0 yards because I'm playing against him. Kyle has him on his dynasty team in the championship. But I think Tyreek Hill is a lock for that 7 or more reception count. So go ahead and lock him in, win some money so you can save up for Christmas presents for next year. Good luck. Okay, so we're going to do an impromptu Bruise Clues. It is Wing It Wednesday, as you know, so we have not prepared anything. So we're just going to pick somebody just off the top of our heads. And as far as the clues, we're going to give a stat line from 1 week, just by random, drawing a random number. We should say if our person didn't play that game, and we don't read the stat line, or we redraw. Clue 2 will be the season stat line. Oh, we should probably throw the position in clue 1. And then we'll do the division at the end. So we'll just wing it that way. All right, so I have a running back for you.
Nice.
And their stat line from week 6.
Did you pick that at random, or did you have a random number generated?
Yeah, I did random.org. You can generate random numbers.
Okay.
So week 6 is what I generated. This running back's stat line, I don't think they played week 6. Or they played and got injured, actually, so maybe that's a clue. Let me redo the week. Week 13, so recent. That could be helpful. In week 13, this running back carried the ball 16 times, ran for 135 yards.
Wait, week 13.
Week 13.
16 touches.
16 touches, 135 yards, no targets, no touchdowns.
No targets.
Heretofore, no receptions. Theretofore, no receiving yards.
All right. In week 13, this running back got 16 touches, 135 yards, and no targets. And no touchdowns.
8.4 yards a carry. That's pretty nice.
Okay. Get off of here, subscribe. More like love bribe. No targets is one thing. In week 13.
Oh, I shouldn't say who they played. I almost did.
Who did they play?
Your mother.
This is hard.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard.
I'm gonna say, fuck, dude. I gotta find it better. I for some reason I think better when I'm looking at that picture we always have up.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna say Damian Harris.
Is not Damian Harris. Good guess.
I thought that was the week he did well. Maybe it was the week before that.
Yeah. His season stat line so far, he has 130 carries for 590 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Damn, that's a lot of his rushing yards in that one game. And then on the season, he has 25 targets for 19 receptions, 88 receiving yards, no receiving touchdowns.
All right, and this season he's got only 590, 6 rushing touchdowns. 19 catches, only 88 receiving yards.
Was that an 83? Nope, it's an 88.
No receiving touchdowns. So that 590 rush yard. I want to say... This is hard.
I'm nervous for mine.
Cam Akers.
It is not Cam Akers. It's a good guess, too. Thinking of like the week 13. I wonder if he has that many yards on the season.
All right, what division we got?
Division is the infamous NFC East. So that's the football team, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys.
Oh, man, this is hard. I don't even know.
I think I know who you're going to guess.
What?
I think I know who you're going to incorrectly guess.
Miles Sanders.
It is not Miles Sanders. I thought you were going to say Tony Pollard. It's Wayne Gallman.
Wayne Gallman. I was going to say Wayne Gallman, but I wasn't sure what he did.
I didn't know if what we were going to do for Bruce Clues or not, but I was thinking ahead of time that Wayne Gallman would be a good person to do.
This is not easy.
You got Wayne Gallman. Week 13 is the only week he doesn't have targets, or I guess there's one other week where he hasn't been targeted, so that was really lucky. It was against the Seahawks. His only 100-yard game. That was very not representative of what Wayne Gallman's season has been, the week that it randomly selected.
Okay, I am going ahead and generating mine.
I'm looking at the team's list.
I got week 1.
Week 1, all right. I got to jot down clues now.
All right, week 1, this running back's stat line. 9 carries, 22 yards, 6 catches on 6 targets for 67 yards.
And that sounds like no touchdowns?
No touchdowns.
Okay. And they're a running back.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. This is so much harder.
I'm gonna guess. I don't have a good guess. I'll start and say Chris Carson.
No, I almost picked Chris Carson though. So you almost were right.
Damn.
On the year, 842 rush yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 298 receptions, and 1 receiving 298 yards of reception, and 1 receiving touchdown. Also 1 fumble lost.
Oh my goodness. 842. Okay, so they're running decently. 7 touchdowns is pretty solid. Decent amount of receiving yards and a touchdown. So not super heavy in the pass game, but enough. This time, I will say Kenyon Drake.
No.
Damn.
Not Kenyon Drake. I almost picked him though too.
They're from the same division. Their teams are next to each other.
AFC South: Jaguars, Colts, Titans, Texans.
Okay. Jaguars, Colts, Titans, Texans. I don't think it's David Johnson's in my mind. I'm not guessing him right now. I don't think that would be Jonathan Taylor. He didn't have a bunch of receptions in week 1. It's obviously not Henry. It's not James Robinson. I'm going to guess Duke Johnson.
It was Jonathan Taylor.
Damn.
He had 60. That's the
carries.
most receptions he had in the game so far.
I was remembering Hines.
And most receiving yards.
Was it Hines that had 2 receiving touchdowns, I think, that game? Or maybe 1 was rushing, I don't know. But Hines had 2 touchdowns that game.
So
that's what I was.
He had 1 rushing, 1 receiving.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what ruled out Jonathan Taylor for me. And then I pivoted to Duke for no reason.
Well, no one gets any points on our improvised Bruce Clues.
Hooray! That was exciting.
Well, do you have anything else you want to do on this episode of Fantasy Brews podcast?
You know, I don't know. I wish a happy birthday to Clinton Dix. We're both free agents.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Don't forget Samuel L. Jackson.
And yeah, this week of football will be a lot of fun. I'm excited. We're gonna dress up for our championship.
We're in a gentleman's championship.
Oh yeah.
Wear nice clothes, be very respectful, and just watch the games and have a laugh, have a beer, have a good time, win some money.
You should all do the same.
Do it.
Bye-bye! Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Fantasy Brews podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fantasy Brews Pod. You can also follow us to download our episodes every week on any of your favorite podcasting services like Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for listening. Have a beer for us on Sunday.